Hi, I'm Hannah from Hannah's Hobby, and I took a little break from doing the tips. I had vacation and I had a vendor fair and I had some other stuff going on. My husband had a surgery, so I took a few weeks off and now I'm back to give you a couple tips tonight. So the first tip I'm going to give you is the 4 inches around a quilt backing for the quilting machine. I kind of went over this when I went over the process of working on a quilt on the quilting machine, but I'm going to go over it a little bit more now. So when you get a quilt done and you go to buy the backing, if you're going to have a long arm quilt machine, which is what I have back here in the background, it's the long quilting machine. If you have it quilted on one of those, you're going to want to make sure your backing is at least 4 inches bigger than your quilt top all the way around. So what you would do would measure your quilt top and then add 4 inches on the top, 4 inches on the bottom, 4 inches on the left side, and 4 inches on the right side. And that's how big your backing needs to be. That way when you take your quilt to get quilted on a long arm, they have enough room on your backing to connect it to the machine. If you don't have that extra 4 inches, you're not going to have any way to put your backing onto your quilting machine. And then you're going to have to add fabric on before you can put it on the long arm. So that just saves the long arm person, that saves them time, and it also saves you time if you don't want to get a phone call saying your backing is too small. So just make sure you have 4 inches all the way around on all 4 sides extra for your quilt top. The second tip I'm going to give you is if you have a big cone of thread like this and it will not fit on your quilt on your sewing machine. So this is what I have on my sewing machine right here. Some of them are straight up on your machine and some of them are laying down. So if you have a cone like this, it will not fit on here. It won't fit on here where it will, you can thread your machine right. I'll go get them. One real quick. So when you have a regular spool thread, it's short like this and it'll just slide right on and you can put this on there like it's supposed to. But with the big one, it will not fit on there where you can put the end on it. The end keeps it from falling off. So you can either get one of these things that come in really handy. It comes apart, all these are one piece, and you can put it together and set it behind your machine. So like you're gonna sew, you would set it over here close to where your thread would be on your machine. So if your thread was over here, you'd want it over here where your thread is on your machine. Mine's over here, so I'm going to set it pretty close to that, and I'm going to put the spool on there like this, and you just pull your thread up over here and then thread your machine like you usually would. If you don't have this thing, you can either buy it or you can get a plastic cup. And the plastic cup works the same way. You just take your spool thread, drop it down in there, set it where your thread is on your machine, and just thread your machine like you normally would. If you just leave it sit on the table like this, your spool thread will end up moving like this, or it'll tip over, and it won't have the right tension because it's not sitting still. So you want to make sure your thread is sitting still on a spool where it won't slide everywhere, a spool holder, or you can put it in a cup and it won't go anywhere. Your cup will stay still. So that's my 2 tips for tonight. If you have any questions, let me know. You can like my Facebook page. You can comment if you want, share it with your friends and family. If you need something quilted or something made, send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can and we'll work something out. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.